Ayo, welcome into the CHGO White Sox pregame show, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome into the CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. You are in Studio A. I'm Sean Anderson, the host of the CHGO White Sox pregame show. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. And alongside me, as always, is my great co-host, Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at HectorWall23. He's the CHGO White Sox community leader. Usually we're joined by Vinny Duber. He is our CHGO White Sox beat writer, but since they are playing at Guaranteed Rate Field, that is his office today. So it's going to be Herb and I on the pregame show, and then on the postgame show, Vinny will be joining us, and hopefully, Vinny will be joining us after a third White Sox win in a row. Herb, they call that a sweep. They are looking to sweep the Tigers today. Hasn't been the prettiest of series, but they've got it done.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the Tigers are on the schedule every once in a while because it's the only team in the AL Central that the White Sox can actually beat. I think they have losing records versus all the rest of the AL Central.
I think they're 9-3 against the Tigers, and you're right, just losing record against everybody else.
Just eating. And, you know, if it's 9-3, that means we have at least like 7 more games versus the Tigers left on the schedule. So those are 7 more chances to win games. Please petition the league for 162 of the Tigers versus White Sox because, man, it doesn't matter what happens. If it's Javi's hitting well, he's tagging people well, if they're getting a new young rookie in Riley Green, if they have a pitcher that's doing well, like Matt Manning after coming back from injury, White Sox just see those people like, let's eat. Come on, it's time to win. I mean, we saw what Lucas Giolito did yesterday, and I know people are mad about Lucas Giolito's early thing. And, you know, as soon as Lucas gives up runs, people are like, oh, this sumbitch. But there is some value into going 7 innings and only giving up 4 earned runs. And earned is very, very strong because there was some definite terrible defense being played out there.
With the White Sox behind them? You're kidding.
Exactly. So I'm sure the FIP on this game will reflect that because there's some balls that should have been caught, should have been put in the pocket. Whew, the White Sox are just so frustrating, but, you know, those Tigers cure what ails you.
Well, you wonder, too, on the Riley Green double that scores 3, if it's any other fielder that can actually play left field and not Eloy, maybe he makes that catch because I know Josh Nelson said at the park it felt like it was gone off the bat. It felt like Pollock and Eloy thought it was gone off the bat, but he was there. He was in the vicinity. Yeah. He could have caught that if you know he was on a full out sprint and made a little bit extra of an effort there.
Or had a better route.
Right.
All these things, golly.
So Sox, you know, giving up runs left and right, and it's not like he gave up a ton of like hard hit balls. I don't think there was too many over 100 on the day for Lucas. I mean, there wasn't a lot that was crushed, and a lot of them were errors. He made some bad walks, which was true, but the average exit velocity is 90. I think there's still a decent pitcher in there somewhere. He's not showing it right now, but I think he's somewhere. But yeah, there's got to be more consistency, and I honestly think he's got to develop a different pitch because this slider's shit. Like it's real bad. And I know it had a decent numbers yesterday, but I don't think that he's actually going to have success with that pitch against a good team. And the average exit velocity on that yesterday was 96, so it's averaging a hard hit. I think he needs to throw something harder. Like Corbin Burns turned his slider, or manipulated the grip on his slider to turn it into a cutter. Yeah, he's able to throw it the same speed as his four-seam fastball. Corbin Burns, great pitcher. I mean, hey, Lucas Giolito, former top prospect. It's not like he's a bum. But I think if he found a different grip, maybe he'd be able to find some more success because his changeup's still fantastic. Yep. And if he's got 2 different fastballs that are going different ways, like if he's cutting a cutter out away from righties and then into lefties, and then that four-seam fastball is going into righties and away to lefties, and then he's got the changeup, like I think there could be a decent 5th starter in there. Right now, he's a pretty mediocre to average 5th starter.
I would agree with that, and I think that if anybody can do it, Lucas can do it. He does adjustments on his pitches. We saw where he shelved the changeup last year to go more with that slider because it was working. It was a little bit more effective. Now, he'll probably need a full offseason to develop another pitch, especially a cutter, and work it with Ethan Katz in the offseason. Remember, this offseason, theoretically, he could not work with Ethan Katz for the majority of that offseason, so that might be also been slowing him down. But I believe that Lucas Giolito still has that dog in him, and this year has been a very disappointing year for him and us as White Sox fans, as he's coming up to some money. Like, his contract will be up, I think, after next season, so he doesn't want to pitch this poorly. I'm sure he's going to dedicate himself in this offseason to be another guy that could be at the top of the rotation instead of a guy that barely makes it to this White Sox rotation, especially with the pitchers coming up and then Davis Martin looking good and all that stuff. I'm sure if this was a true meritocracy where you only play if you're the best, I don't know, some people be saying, hey, Davis Martin needs some time, or, hey, let's see if we can develop Jimmy Lambert. And we saw what we saw from Ronaldo Lopez, which I think he's a bullpen guy, and I've been saying that for years now. But I'm hearing whispers, people like, hey, man, you don't want to waste all that goodness, especially how he's gone the last 11 appearances with nothing on the bullpen, especially if you have two other lefty or righty bullpen arms back there in Graveman and Hendricks. But I think Lucas Giolito in the offseason will be fine. Luckily for the playoffs, I don't know if he'll make it, if the White Sox ever do make it, to the starting rotation. He might be one of those guys you just like, hey, you didn't make the initial playoff roster because we have this, that, and the other, because you're not the third best pitcher on this roster.
I wonder, too, what he would be like in short relief. Like, I know that's not what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the ace.
Yeah.
He's not living up to those expectations. This was supposed to be a big arb year for him. He's fighting for, over hundreds of thousands of dollars in the $7 million range with the White Sox and, the arbitration number. They're trying to, they have different filings, and Lucas obviously made his displeasure known. But, you're right. After you have that expectation, you want the ball in game one. You want the ball in game one of 2020. You want the game ball in game one of 2021. Like, this is just falling flat on your face. And I do wonder, with the lack of velocity, we've seen Jimmy Lambert, notch it up a few, go into the bullpen. We've seen Reynaldo Lopez kick it up to 100 now.
Oh, yeah.
I do wonder if Lucas is able to just be like, all right, because he's got a lot of energy. I mean, going 7 innings takes a lot.
Yep.
He's got a lot of energy. Maybe he's going to be able to get that up to like 95 if he's coming out in shorter stints. I don't know, but it does feel like he's not going to be in that starting rotation, especially if you're in a, if you winning, you do the one in the Central, you're hosting 3 home games.
Yep.
That's going to be Cease, Cueto, and Kopech. Easy.
I mean, I would think that Lance Lynn still has an outside chance to be in that rotation, but yes, I would not put Giolito in those top 3, only if, and I know I said this last week, only if you're talking about the bullpen, if he can thrive in that bullpen role, if he can do more in that bullpen role. And with 2 pitches that are working, the fastball and the changeup, maybe that's all you need. A short stint of Lucas, like you said, we can get up to 95. Maybe he can get up to 97, knowing, hey, this is my only inning. This is where I'm going to press people. And this is my role right now. And I know I'm not this guy for my life, but we got to adjust expectations. Like, we expected the White Sox to hit way more than 100 home runs up to this point, which is only hit 99. So we have to adjust expectations to say, okay, on August, 13th or 14th, we're going to be looking at the guy who's going to hit the 100th home run for the team on this season. So, we're adjusting expectations, and Lucas needs to do that too. He knows he hasn't earned the spot. So, hey, man, it's bullpen time for you, Lucas. Can you thrive in that? Because that's your only role on this team in that first round if we get there.
Well, and we know his intensity too. I mean, you know that epic stare in Oakland. I mean, maybe he's got that intensity to move to a bullpen role. Maybe he's got that, fuck you attitude, seeing that he's just got 3 batters to go and just wants to mow those guys down. Like, I could see it. I could see him having that dog in him, like you said.
And I'm sure that he would be very disappointed not making the playoff roster initially or not being a starter in that playoff. But he has to face facts and reality and get over his feelings and start pitching well. Or if he wants to be in that playoff rotation, hell, develop something else. Make people miss bats. Johnny Cueto doesn't have great stuff, but guess what? Johnny Cueto gets outs. When people are on, he gets outs, and phenomenal outs. I mean, last night, Lucas was a little trouble. Line shot to Yohan Moncada.
That was a sick
mercy.
Play.
And then I don't know what Javi Baez is doing. Is he turned dumb? He is just a dumb baseball player. Like, where you going, bro? You got a guy in front of you, firstly. Secondly, fundamentally, it's you got to let line drives get through the infield. Where you going, bro?
Did you see any of the Twins-Astros game the Twins-Angels game last night?
I watched the end of it.
Did you see the 10th?
Yeah, I saw only the ninth.
Okay, so I watched the bottom of the 10th. I went to the Michael Imperioli, the Sopranos, played at Sleeping Village last night, and he's got a band, and he played like an hour set. It was pretty fun.
Is he singing?
Yeah, he's singing.
Okay.
He's all right.
All right.
Yeah, he's having fun. He's Michael Imperioli.
He can do whatever.
Exactly. And we're walking to a McDonald's 24 hours, and we passed this bar, and it's like the weirdest mix of people. There's like 5 people in there. None of them are talking to each other. They're all over the age of 50. It's like 3 men, 2 women, and they're just like hanging, drinking. But they're all watching the Twins-Angels game. And I don't know if it's intently, but they're all on the 3 TVs that have the Twins-Angels game on. It's the 10th inning. They intentionally walk Shohei. So Shohei's on first. There's a runner on third. And Renjifo's up, I'm pretty sure. And it's a bloop into center. Buxton, being Buxton, covers all this ground and catches the ball. And Shohei, his run doesn't matter. It's 3-3 in the bottom of the 10th. He runs from first base, and he's the one that gets doubled up and not the guy at third base. So he completely screws his team out of the win, and Minnesota ends up winning last night. So
I thought
did they?
I thought Anaheim won.
Oh, I only saw the bottom of the 10th. It was I didn't see the final on that one.
Yeah,
I saw the
Angels won on a 2-run home run by Walsh or something like that.
They got a one game winning streak. All right, sweet.
Yeah, it was a opposite field home run. I just saw the highlights of that. But yes, that's just really dumb. I don't understand what's going on with Major League Baseball players and dumb on the bases. The White Sox are not out of that either, because the White Sox are one of the worst and dumbest base running teams in the league.
Yeah, KPW saying Taylor Ward walk it off. And going down the dumb base running paths, I think Max had a question up here about outs at home base. White Sox rank 4th in the league at outs at home base, tied with the Detroit Tigers of all teams with 15 outs at home base. Kansas City leads the league with 18. Rays and Nationals at 17. Not a good list there to be on. Outside of the Rays, not a lot of good teams. Royals 18, Rays 17 as my thing breaks, Nationals 17, White Sox 15, Tigers 15, and then Cubs are at 13, Angels at 12. Dodgers, I guess, at 12 too.
Do you need me to talk for you?
No, it's all right. I got this. I'm just holding it. No, don't worry. Let's just freestyle. It's all good, guys. Don't worry.
He looks like you're playing guitar.
Just having fun, guys. And other Sean keeps bringing this up, so I guess we'll bring it up. Billy Hamilton, not dumb on the base path, has been elected release from the Marlins, so he is a free agent. You want Billy the hitter back?
I would love to have Billy the hitter back. Not necessarily just, because the team was good when he was on the team. I think he actually has a role on this team. A good base runner, a guy who can be a defensive replacement instead of Leury Garcia. Like, yes, it's good to have Adam Engel, but how about having another available guy to play some good defense? And it will get rid of Gavin Sheets for me. Gavin Sheets has done well, and he's hit a couple home runs. But I don't want to see him in right field ever again.
Yeah, and he's beaten a couple shifts. I mean, but also the thing, too, like, Adam Engel's starting today. Engel, I think, hasn't started since, like, August 3rd. Like, he's been MIA. We've questioned a couple times if he's been on the roster.
List. I remember they're like, is Adam Engel here? Yeah.
I'd love to see Adam Engel more. I mean, he kind of fits the Billy the hitter role.
We just need him more. Smarter guys. Sometimes when you get into those 6th, 7th, 8th inning games, White Sox are station to station. We see they score they hit a lot of singles. They're what, 3rd or 2nd in singles? Or
I think they lead the league.
Number 1 in singles and a lot of hitting. Not 4th in batting average, but we're station to station all the time. So you would like to have a guy with a little premium speed to get those singles from second to score some runs.
5th in batting average, and then 1st in singles, 725. And they only have 99 home runs, friends.
And that's what we are. We're a singles hitting team. We can't switch from where we are. Might as well have some better people on the bases when you do hit these singles.
Well, and my guy Beefloaf ended up shit talking me yesterday with Andrew Vaughn driving in a run, going 3 for 4 by the way. But Andrew Vaughn drives in an RBI because of Jose Abreu's hustle.
Yeah.
So even the guys that aren't that fast need to really turn it on here. BGDN LSD saying White Sox management can sleep better at night after Tatis 80 game news. What do you think of that as a White Sox fan and also as a Padres fan?
I thought as a White Sox fan, I don't know why we're celebrating. We still lost the trade every single day of the week. Now
they've had 1,000 plate appearances from Fernando Tatis Jr. They won that trade,
and I never was blaming Rick Hahn for trading Fernando Tatis as part of that deal. I'm always a person of thinking at the time, what was the trade? Nobody was talking about Fernando Tatis. So, yes, he turned into this player, and maybe he got some assistance. We see that he got some assistance this time when he's off, and he can make the excuses of, I got ringworm. Motherfucker, you didn't get ringworm. And secondly, ringworm, and I don't know who's in his team, his agent, his father, his mom. The drug that he got tested for and the drug that is treated for ringworm are two different things. So they looked up the wrong one and said, oh, yeah, we were treating ringworm. My ass. Come on, man. Just come out and say, man, I was trying to get an advantage. I was trying to get an edge. I got a 14-year contract. I'm trying to get better and stronger. And sorry, I cheated the system. I won't do it anymore. A mea culpa. Somebody would be like, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with what you're doing, but I understand it. I know the pressure's on you. Hey, man, you're on your way to forgiveness. Now, I don't give a goddamn about Fernando Tatis because out here he's lying. The thing with Andy Pettitte and why he might still have a viable chance to make it to the Hall of Fame is because he came out and said, I did it, and I'm sorry, and this is a mistake I did, and tried to rectify the situation. That's why I got respect for Andy Pettitte, and if he ever makes the Hall of Fame, I'm like, I'll look at it John his side, but also I'll be like, hey, man, at least he came clean and said he used the stuff. This guy, no. Fernando Tatis needs to come out and say, I did this shit. I'm sorry. The contract's still going to play. He's still going to get paid when he does play games. So what is the harm of saying to people, I've betrayed your trust. I know you're behind me. I'll make it better. And you'll see from here on out, I'll be a changed player.
Well, because he's a stupid 23-year-old. I mean, the fact that, he gets in a motorcycle accident, they ask him, describe the motorcycle accident. He says, which one? No, don't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. What are you doing?
And the Padres are so well within their rights to void the contract that he signed. Well within their rights, because in most contract, you can't do things like skiing and riding motorcycles. That's why the Bulls thing with Jake Williams was a big thing, because Jerry Reinsdorf paid his contract to Jake Williams, even though he could have voided it out because he got in a motorcycle accident. Yeah, it's just really dumb. He needs some maturing, and sometimes the message is right, the messenger is wrong, and Mike Clevenger's in the clubhouse saying he needs some maturity. He needs to grow up. Motherfucker, you? Right. You saying that? You or Zach Plesac can't say a goddamn word about that going out in the middle of COVID and to have a nice Chicago nighttime.
There's a reason your ass is in San Diego, sunshine. That's because you were out partying late in this great city. But yeah, I mean, there's even a thing too. It's like the CDC said steroid creams make ringworm worse. So, this guy is using it as a mistake. I don't know. It just seems like a whole bunch of idiotic, not taking true accountability for your actions there. But, yeah, White Sox did not win that trade. Please get a grip, people.
Yeah, don't celebrate that, White Sox fans. It's not great.
What you should celebrate, though, Michael Kopech. And Pine Tar Keyboard ended up saying, and shout out to our guy Zach, ended up saying if the entire plan for Game 4 last year was have Carlos throw 100 for 2 innings and pray, there's precedent for asking Gio to ramp it up in a short outing. So maybe we would see Giolito in that bullpen. But after seeing what Michael Kopech did on Friday night, 6 innings, 85 pitches, no hits, no walks, 11 Ks, mercy. Give me as much Michael Kopech as you can give me. If he's hitting that velocity, this guy's untouchable. And if he is ever able to truly define and refine that slider and get that sharp breaking ball that he had last year coming out of the bullpen, this guy is going to be untouchable. He is throwing a perfect game in a White Sox uniform. He is throwing a no-hitter in a White Sox uniform. Mark it down. It's going to be against one of these bum-ass Royals or Tigers teams, but they can't hit that fastball. They can study. They can look at the tape. They can look at the film and everything. They are not hitting it. There was a stat from Chris Kampka. He has 5 starts this year going 5 innings and not allowing a hit, or 1 hit or less. Wow. 1 hit or less, 5 innings, 5 starts, leads the majors. Since I think 1901, there's been 4 players that have done it 4 times in a year. I got to get the stat right, but I mean, he's doing stuff that is unprecedented. And once he gets that length, once he gets that stamina, this guy's a horse. Let him run. He's going to do beautiful things.
Are we the Angels? You know how they put out that tweet where it's like, I saw something that Mike Trout did something that hasn't been done since Hoss Rasburn, right. And so did Shohei Ohtani. Tigers beat the Angels 8-3. That's what I feel like. We're having an all-time great season from Dylan Cease, all time. And he just read the stats about Michael Kopech going through, 4 guys in the history of the game since 1901 have had the same effect of Michael Kopech with 1 or less hits in 5 innings of pitching. And we're out here 2 games above 500. So we're having great pitching staffs. Like Johnny Cueto's having a renaissance year. He's having a great sub-3 ERA year. And we're out here with a 2-game over 500. We are the Angels on the pitching side.
Yes. And Johnny, seriously, Johnny Cueto's going to have 20 quality starts.
And KPW brought it up. The Angels hit 7 home runs all solo and still lost 8-7 to the A's this year. That is a true thing. That really happened this year, probably 2 weeks ago.
It's Tungsten Arm Doyle.
Oh, there. Sorry.
Tungsten Arm O'Doyle is the name you're looking there. But yeah. And what's up with Clevenger changing the locks on his kids? What
are we out here speculating KPW out
Clevenger
here telling
did
real stuff?
Also change the locks on his house when his wife and child were out of the house. Yikes. It sounds like some Zach Davies stuff there. Not good. But the White Sox are a great place with their pitching. Lineup, not so much. Let's look at the starting lineup for the Sox today. Leading off for your Chicago White Sox is going to be A.J. Pollock in left field. Batting second, Yohan Moncada at third base. Batting third, Eloy Jimenez at designated hitter. Batting fourth, José Abreu at first base. Batting fifth, Andrew Vaughn in right field. Batting sixth, Josh Harrison at second base. Batting seventh, Adam Engel in center field. Batting eighth, Sebi Zavala at catcher. And batting ninth, Lenyn Sosa at shortstop. No Liuri, thank God.
Yeah, but the other day, Lenyn, real tough. Yeah, Liuri was decent at shortstop.
He was hustling yesterday, and he was clearly injured, though.
Oh, yeah. 100% he's injured. He's playing through it, but I would love Jose to play through it, which I thought when he beat out that ball to first base that he was kind of grabbing his hamstring. No, my man's I'm just okie-doking you. Old school, Jim Brown used to come out, I'm hurt after that tackle, and then the next thing he just runs 7 yards right past you. That's what Jose did for you. He okie-doked you, then got on second, which I thought he got tagged by Javi Baez, but apparently the umps didn't see enough. And then he scores on the next ball that Andrew Vaughn hits a single right up the middle. His lineup is nice. It's decent. I would love to have Luis Robert in it, but of course he's still hurt. But the guys in that lineup can get the job done today. I see at least 7-8 runs tonight.
Yeah, I would love for you to be right. They're going up against a left-hander. It hasn't happened yet, and you got some power last night. AJ Pollock found the power late last night versus Andrew Chafin, and my guy Andrew Vaughn's driving in runs. But I'd love to at least see a light show. We got to play a little bit of a game a little later about the home runs. Let's look at the Sox or the Tigers starting lineup. Leading off Riley Green in center field, batting second Victor Reyes in right field, batting third Javier Baez at shortstop, batting fourth Harold Castro at designated hitter, batting fifth Willie Castro at second base. They're together, Herb. They didn't split them up. Batting sixth Chimer Candelario at third base, batting seventh Cody Clemens at first base, batting eighth Tucker Barnhart at catcher, and batting ninth Akil Baddoo in left field. What's up with the boos for Baez? I don't care.
He's a Cub, and so that's his thing. That's the White Sox thing. Remember him as a Cub. His Slidey McTaggy stuff, as somebody called him back on Twitter.
Is it the fact that they spent over $100 million on him too?
No.
It has nothing to do with that he's actually on the Tigers. It's just all the Cubs. All
Cubs stuff. It's literally, they recognize the name. He got a lot of shine for the stuff he did on the north side. And so Sox fans F him. Remember, they booed Anthony Rizzo, and there's really no reason to boo true. Anthony Rizzo unless you just boo all the Yankees. So, yes, it's just him being a former Cub. I don't know if they would boo Chris Bryant if he came here with the Colorado Rockies. If he ever plays for the Colorado Rockies, that's another story. But he's having a terrible year. Leads the league in errors, Javi. He's hitting not well. He's not hitting for power. This whole Detroit team, while we talk about the White Sox not hitting and not hitting for runs, this Tigers team is woeful. They're just so terrible at hitting. And they don't even have one of their best hitters, which is Miguel Cabrera, who's having not a renaissance year, but he's hitting close to 300 this year, not with the power. So
dead cat bounce.
I don't see anything about this team doing anything versus Lance Lynn today. And watch 17 runs later.
I hope you're wrong about the 17 runs.
They're just nothing.
No, they're not.
That is just a garbage lineup.
The Guardians swept them, and I don't think the Tigers scored more than 9 runs in that series. I mean, the White Sox can do this. by doing the same exact thing. Right now, they've only scored 4 runs.
No Haas in there either.
Right. I think they can end this series with the Tigers scoring 4 runs in the entire damn thing. All the White Sox need to do is score 1 today, and I think they might win. I agree with Brandon. You should always boo a Yankee. I'm fine with that. And David Rocca, I agree with you that the fact that he's not fighting the suspension, the fact that he's not appealing the 80-game suspension,
well, he can't.
Means he's guilty.
He can't. Usually these suspensions, they send it to you early, and you appeal it before it's announced publicly.
Yeah, I think that he the way I was listening to Trevor Plouffe talk about it, and I think that the fact that he was going through those rehab games, I think that he was amping up to appeal it. I think he was appealing it during the process of playing those rehab games, and I think that he's just like, nah, fuck it, I can't beat it.
Exactly. Like he knew that he did it. Just come clean, brother.
Right.
It's not that hard. You're going to get those 80 no matter what. Does anybody really talk about Ramon Laureano anymore? Got the same 80 games that Fernando Tatis got.
But it's different.
I know he's a bigger and he gets
Tatis.
more money. Yeah.
He's on the cover of the show.
He is.
It never happened before.
But his money's going to be still, checks are going to clear.
Yeah.
And I feel that if you're going to be that guy, lean into it. Don't act like you're taking ringworm. I disrespect you even more. I'm like, ugh, I don't want you on my team now.
Hey, you're stuck with him. Maybe not. I don't think they're going to avoid that contract. We'll talk about it more.
He's terribly defensively. He lies all the time. He's not available. Because he's constantly hurt. Like, I know the deal was good, and I applauded it when it happened, but is the guy real?
Well, I want to talk to you about it on the post-game show, because also, like, we could play, like, if he becomes a free agent, like, what's the deal he signs? Is it a 1-year deal? Or, like, if Tatis is out on the market with all the shortstops that are out on the market, or, even I know he's not a shortstop because he sucks at playing shortstop, but
he does.
I don't know. Like, I think it's an interesting discussion.
Every team is checking into Tatis because they think he's the guy who was hitting home runs and playing spectacular.
Led the league last year.
Yeah, fantastic defense. But also, is he going to be that guy?
Right.
Was this all made up? I mean, we talked about it so many times about the White Sox didn't think of him as anything, really, when he was here. And that's why they included him on the trade. Maybe since he got to San Diego, they found some extra stuff. Because that's where his development happened. That's where his growth happened.
Right. He can recognize a pitch, though. I mean, I don't know. The way he catches up to fastballs, I mean, there's something elite about him. I always thought. I didn't think I was ever watching a guy that was steroid helped. I don't know. I mean, hey, there's questions now. Shout out to Mailman Jack, who just got a free bet for PointsBet at plus 250 on the Sox winning the division. It's free money, and the best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. If you do that right now, you'll get some free money. You'll get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. But that's not it. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit at PointsBet, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. So head over to the PointsBet app, use code CHGO when you sign up. And yeah, they did just release Elijah Tatis. And if you make a $50 or more first-time deposit using the code CHGO at the PointsBet app, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, and you'll get a free shirt of your choice from CHGO locker. We got brand new Sox merch. We got a brand new Dylan Cease shirt out. It's real sweet. We also got the Southside Bias shirt. We got this CHGO pocket tee as well. We got a lot of great options, and this is a fantastic, fantastic offer for you to take advantage of. So download the PointsBet app, get $2,000 of free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free t-shirt from the CHGO locker, all for making more than a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. So what are you waiting for? It's time to elevate your live betting game and your betting game. Download the PointsBet app right now and use promo code CHGO. And once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life at PointsBet. If you're someone who has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. All right, let's look at the pitching matchup. We got Lance Lynn on the bump for the Sox. 59 2/3 innings today, this year. A 5.88 ERA, 66 hits allowed, 62 strikeouts, 11 walks, a 68 ERA plus, and Tyler Alexander is on the bump for the Tigers. 49 1/3 inning, 3.83 ERA, 49 hits allowed, 26 strikeouts, 10 walks, and a 1.04 plus ERA. How you feeling about the White Sox against left-handers, especially seeing what they didn't do against Daniel Norris on Friday?
Yeah, they've been really suspect versus left-handers this year in particular. And, yeah, Daniel Norris is out here shutting them down. And this guy is a league average pitcher, 104 on the ERA plus. So it's going to be a tougher challenge. And now, watch the White Sox go out and get 6 or 7 runs today versus a tougher left-hander. I mean, they did that versus Martin Perez, you saw earlier, versus the Rangers. So I'm going to go with the opposite. I think the White Sox will get some hits off of Mr. Tyler Alexander.
Yes.
Oh, we got the battle of two first-name guys.
Lance Lynn and
Tyler Alexander, yes.
Well, it's funny because Tyler Alexander is kind of like if Lance Lynn was small, kind of like if he was the filet version of Lance Lynn. So he's on the left-handed side here. You could see just how small Tyler Alexander is compared to Lance Lynn. But Alexander throws a cutter 26% of the time, four-seam fastball 21% of the time, a sinker 20% of the time, a changeup 18% of the time, and a slider 12% of the time. Just like Lance Lynn, he's mainly throwing fastballs. He's mainly just trying to get you on directions of fastballs and guessing them wrong. He doesn't actually have a ton of velocity. His fastest fastballs average is 90. So it's not like he's really doing this with speed. It's just control and trying to create weak contact. So this might be a left-hander that the White Sox struggle against. José Abreu's done very well career-wise against Tyler Alexander. If we could pull up the career splits, if we have those, I think he's got a batting average over 400 versus Alexander. It's the reason why he's my click to pick. So yeah, I think that the White Sox might struggle, but I'm not sure.
I'm saying they should. I mean, because this guy is better than the lefties they have faced this year, and they've struggled versus them. But I'm going opposite day. I think the White Sox just see these Tigers and they get hyped up. They're like, okay, we got a couple of easy wins on the ticket, and they go ahead and do the thing. So I think the White Sox will get a couple runs off him. On the opposite side, I think Lance Lynn has pitched better than the numbers indicate. And as I said before, the Tigers lineup does not bring any fear to anybody's heart, and Lance Lynn needs some punishment as back for the Tigers as they got to him his first game back, and that's what caused the argument between him and Joe McEwing.
Right, and Cody Clemens is the guy who really beats him up 2 for 2 lifetime. Willie Castro is the guy who has had basically the most success against Lance Lynn in this lineup. In 10 at-bats, he's got a 1,600 OPS versus Lance Lynn.
Season rights.
But it's a small sample size, so we'll see what the White Sox can do. Career batting average leader for the Sox against Alexander. Luis Robert has done well in 9 at-bats, a 1,500 OPS, but José Abreu in 21 at-bats, 1,000 OPS, so that's why he's going to be my click to pick today. I think he hits the 100th home run this season, Herb. I think Jose has a nice power day, hits a homer off Alexander, and the Sox win. I said 1-0. I think they'll win. I don't think they're going to win 1-0. I'll say 5-2.
I think the Sox are going to win. Sebi Zavala will be my click to pick. He will hit the 100th home run. I initially said it was going to be Yasmani Grandal because he's been on a tear, but he's out of the game. And so Sebi Zavala will be the 100th home run getter today. White Sox win 8-1.
And if they don't hit their 100th home run today, we're going to have a lot of fun with that on the post game. I'm going to try to really, really shame them for not hitting 100 home runs by August 14th. What is this? I mean, I think by 2020, they already had 100 home runs by August 14th, and the season started on July 31st. Yeah. What is this team? Hit some homers. God damn it. Let's go. Thank you guys for watching. Vinny spotted a Juan Pierre jersey at the G-rate, so it's going to be a great day. Connor's saying it's Yo-Yo's day to hit a homer, so we'll see if that happens. And if the White Sox can pull through and hit their 100th home run on the year. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. Make sure you follow the show on Twitter at CHGO_White Sox. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. We appreciate all you guys for hanging out with us on the pregame show, and make sure you hang out with us on the postgame show after the game here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit those notifications. Hey, Stupid Donkey's back. The Sox are a bad team. That's not a stupid take.
Agreed, Stupid Donkey. You are correct.
But they're good against the Tigers. We'll see if they win today. We will see after the game, after the final out is made. Come join us here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Again, Herb Lawrence, Sean Anderson. Thank you, Stephen Nicholas, for your production. We will talk to you after the game. Go Sox.